Good Tuesday evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back to Southwest Arkansas weather here on October the 28th, 2025. Taking a look at your evening weather blog. We are back with these video vlogs. I do apologize for the delay, mixture of just a lot of things going on in terms of midterms for college and a lot of other fun stuff there with that. So that's kept us pretty busy away from being able to do these video vlogs, but we are back, and let's talk about the area-wide 6-day forecast for the end of October into the first week or beginning of November. And as you can tell, we've had a strong cold front come through today, bring us a decent amount of rain across the region, and we're going to continue to see some showers tomorrow morning as this low pressure system moves out. Some of that rain is going to wrap back around early in the morning before decreasing throughout the day. One thing to mention is we do have wind advisories in effect not only for tonight but through tomorrow morning or through tomorrow until 7 p.m. for the potential of 20 to 30, maybe even up 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and maybe even some higher. That could be a possibility with that tomorrow. So it is going to be windy overnight tonight into tomorrow, and with that, temperatures tomorrow morning are going to be in the lower 40s, and for highs they're only going to be in the 50s, lower 50s across the region, lower to mid 50s with overnight lows in the lower 40s and upper 30s. We could be on frost watch on Thursday after that wind dies down. We clear out with sunny skies, highs in the lower 60s and upper 50s with overnight lows getting down into the 30s. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a maybe even mid lower 30 maybe, but I think we stay mid 30s above to upper 30s, maybe a few lower 40s, but I do think we're on frost watch there on Thursday. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. On Halloween, Friday, sunny and clear skies currently with highs in the mid-60s across the region with overnight lows in the lower 40s. As we get a little closer, we'll begin to do the trick-or-treat forecast for you for that evening on Friday. Saturday, though, we could have another system that may try to make its way into the region. We're going to have to watch it closely. We'll keep you updated on that. Right now, we're going with dry conditions, but only keeping a 10% chance of a shower or storm just in case there with the chance for some showers. Just in case, but for the most part right now it is dry with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies over the weekend. Highs in the lower to mid 60s, overnight lows in the upper 30s, lower 40s on Saturday, and in the mid 40s there on Sunday. Sunny skies start off the beginning of next week, and as we kick off the first full week of November, high is going to be around 70 degrees, so a few upper 60s, a few lower 70s could be possible there with overnight lows in the lower 40s. We just continue to get closer to more of that fall-like pattern, and a little more like it this week with those temperatures in the 60s for highs. Real quickly, let's talk about what we're currently seeing on radar. Well, actually, let's take a look at Futurecast. So remember, this is the HRRR model. This is one of the many models we use to build a forecast, not the only one. As you can tell, it's not doing necessarily a great job on the rainfall. We don't have a lot of this going on down here, so that's just one example that with this. You gotta heed caution with this. This is just a general idea, not necessarily the only possibility with this. But as we go throughout the overnight time frame, you're going to notice we dry out some, but watch what happens here with this low pressure system. I'm going to zoom out. You're going to see this rain coming back and wrap around just briefly there tomorrow morning, and maybe lasting some into the evening, but I think we dry out there for that day there on Wednesday. Taking a look at wind gust potential, this is going to show you potential wind gusts, and this is already predicting, give me one moment here, of some wind gusts up 30 miles an hour, maybe ongoing up near the Mena area already. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. Could already start to begin to see those wind gusts. Remember, this is model data, just one of the many tools to build a forecast, but watch what happens as we go through the overnight time frame. Those continue to pick up, and I'm gonna just check on something here. There may be that isolated, 50 mile per hour wind gust or so. You can never take this as that's for sure what's going to go on, but by 12 a.m. tonight, look at this. 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts wouldn't be out of the question there. This is just wind gusts. This isn't necessarily the sustained wind speeds, but you're going to see here with that strong cold front coming through, that just continues to be the case. And tomorrow morning, this model is wanting to pick up in those Ouachita Mountains regions of maybe widespread 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. I'm not going that high quite yet, but I think 30, maybe to 40 miles an hour is a good possibility for your wind gusts there through the day tomorrow. You can see, and if this is accurate, that brings a lot of gusty winds, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts or so, into the region. And then that just continues throughout the day, dying down in that evening and decreasing as we go into into Thursday. But when we take a look at wind speeds, let's back this up on just pure wind speeds here. This is going to show you still with those wind speeds, not necessarily wind gusts, but wind speeds, they're going to continue to be right around 15, maybe 20 miles an hour or so there across the region through tomorrow. So just your regular wind speed is going to range from about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Your wind gusts could be anywhere between 20 to 30, or well, I would say 30 to 40, maybe even some chances of some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We'll have to keep a close eye on that, though. Remember, data's not perfect, just one of the many tools we use to build a forecast. So just a quick little overview of that. Let's talk about the overall pattern here and what we mentioned for this upcoming weekend. Talking about this is the GFS model. This is your 500 millibar level heights. So this is about mid-upper atmosphere. As you can see, we have a lot of energy coming in and over us right now. With that low pressure system, we have this energy out of pretty much directly out of the west, and that's what's brought us that rain and storms. And as you can see, as we go into tonight, that really cranks up the jet above us, or that jet above us at around 83 knots. That's in the upper atmosphere, of course, and you can see there's that low pressure system tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning at the 500 millibar level. That's upper atmosphere. The winds come out of the north, helping that cold air come in, and then that moves out. By the time we get to this weekend, we're going to keep a close eye on it. Maybe another chance as we go into Saturday and Sunday of another little dip there. Maybe a low pressure system trying to form. When we take a look at the lower levels, though, I do want to show you this is closer to the surface, and watch what happens as we go from Tuesday further into the overnight time frame. You notice a big increase in wind energy there across the region. I think you can really see this here. You can see that increase in some wind speeds on the backside of this low pressure system as we go overnight into your day on Wednesday. So just one of these little details that you can add to that with the gusty wind potential there throughout the day on Wednesday and overnight tonight. I will say, as we go forward, though, you can see on the 700 millibar level, we're just steadily kind of moving up closer to that 500 millibar level, which millibars is just another height reference. For example, the highest on here is 200 millibars. That's the upper, very high up in the atmosphere. The lowest is 925 millibars. That's near the surface, maybe not necessarily the surface, but that's closer to the surface. 500 millibars, though, that's your good general idea of where you can pinpoint, hey, here's a trough, here's a ridge, here's your low pressure system, stuff of that nature. And on the 700 millibar level system, or on the 700 millibar level height, you can kind of see here, there is that low pressure system that brought us this rain. You can kind of see that by the way these winds curve. When I'm talking about winds, is these little barbs here right where the mouse is. These, you can kind of see that curve like that, and there's that low pressure system on the Arkansas Missouri border. Well, that moves out as we go into this weekend, and as you notice, you're going to kind of start to see a trend as we go into Saturday. I'm trying to see where this may be a little, you can kind of briefly see there's something that tries maybe a low tries to form there before it moves towards us. We're going to have to watch that as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Like we said, right now there's not many great rain chances, but if we take a look at the lower levels, you can kind of see a little better here as we go into this weekend. See this, you can see this out here in Texas. Here's a low level, or it looks like a low that's trying to form out in Texas. As we go into Saturday, that may try to make its way towards us or may go south of us. We'll have to watch it closely. Either way, just something we got to keep an eye on for this weekend. Right now, we're going with mainly dry conditions, though, for this current weekend forecast. Real quickly, let's also talk briefly about some just temperatures and stuff of that nature. First, let's take a look at the dew points. You're going to see as this cold front comes through, look at those dew points drop as we go into tomorrow morning. You're talking dew points in the lower 40s and upper 30s potentially there. Once again, on that low pressure system, that background moisture could bring us some small rain chances tomorrow morning. But we continue to dry out really there with dew points in the 40s for this time of year. with that. Now, taking a look at temperatures, you're going to notice that trend just a little cooler coming in there as we go through tomorrow. Not expecting much. I mean, it's going to be warm, and then you got to add on to that. Well, it's not necessarily going to be warm, but highs in the 50s and upper 40s. But then you got to add on the potential wind chill values. This is something that I've yet to look at until here recently. Looking at this could have wind chill values tomorrow morning in the 30s and lower 40s there across the region. And look at that. Look at what it's got. If this is accurate, look at what it's got Mina sitting at. That's around 39 degrees potentially for wind chills throughout the day tomorrow. So just a little sneak peek there. You may want to keep a close eye on wind chill values potentially tomorrow with that wind as it moves through. That could help cool things down and keep things just a little cooler compared to what we're currently seeing. Overall, though, that's just a quick brief overview of the pattern and just what we have in store for this upcoming week. Not a whole lot to talk about now that we've gotten past this cold front that's moved through and this rainfall. Now on the backside of that cold front, once again, gusty winds. Charge your devices. Be prepared for some power outages just in case with those gusty winds. It's always a possibility. Ground is wet. Remember that. So when that ground's wet, tree roots or the ground is softer, and it doesn't take near as much to knock a tree over as it does during whenever the ground's dry. I will say one thing that may help us though is, either way, you're going to get your leaves off your trees in time for winter with that wind. So with those leaves kind of starting to die out, that may help make them just a little less on the heavy side compared to what they would be come, say springtime, summertime, if you get what I mean there by that. But overall, just a quick overview there. But as always, we want to end this off by saying a big thanks to our sponsors, Patterson's Credit Union, Southern Dumpster Rental, Landmark Insurance Agency, Palmer's Roofing, and J&S Auto Supply Bumper to Bumper. We are blessed to work with some of the best companies in Southwest Arkansas. If you're in need of anything that these offer, feel free to contact them, as you can see above, or reach them on their Facebook pages, on their respective Facebook pages there as well. As always, have a great rest of your Tuesday. See you back here tomorrow evening for another look at what's in store for your evening weather blog. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.